Executive Vice President and founder of Every Black Life Matters. For Black History Month this year, I'll be looking at 3 people who've had a great influence on blacks and on black plight. The first one's name is Joe Biden. In 1977, Joe Biden said, "Unless we do something about this, my children are going to grow up in a jungle. The jungle being a racial jungle, with tensions having built so high that it's going to explode at some point. We have got to make some move on this." Now, this may sound innocent enough until you realize that he was arguing against desegregation. Fortunately, he lost that battle. But there was a battle that he won 17 years later that hurt blacks tremendously. In 1994, Joe Biden made the statement about what he himself, till 2016, proudly called the 1994 Biden crime bill. He said, "Unless we do something about the cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without instruction, structure, without any conscience, a portion of them will become predators 15 years from now." Biden was one who led to push mandatory minimum sentences for nonviolent drug offenders. In the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986, he pushed the law to punish 5 grams of crack cocaine, which is less than 3 packets of sugar, for personal use, with the same punishment as half a kilo of powder cocaine that only drug dealers would have. Blacks use crack more often, so for an equivalent drug crime, a black kid would go to prison for 5 years, while a white kid would barely get 6 months. Biden also pushed for civil asset forfeiture, which allows the police to take property even if no crime was proven. This disparately took what little poor black families had. He also advocated for the extensive use of the death penalty, resulting in more blacks on death row. But I want to go to this line. Tens of thousands of them born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure. We have to ask ourselves, why did so many black kids end up being born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision? The answer is quite simple. It's because of the very liberal socialist policies that Joe Biden and his fellow socialists advocated. Their socialistic welfare policies created the problem years ago by chasing fathers out of the home. Then they turned around and put those kids as young adults in prison, which only made things worse. Because by then, many of those young men were fathers. And so thousands and thousands of new young fathers went to prison for that 1994 Biden crime bill, making the problem worse by creating hardened criminals and leaving more and more fatherless kids. So this Black History Month, we ask that you remember the men and women who are responsible for black plight and decide that it's time you stop them and their policies, because every black life matters.